En Auguste 26, 1789, un single sheet of paper shattered centuries of royal absolute power. Before the sun rose over Paris that morning, an old world was taking its very last breath. Paris stood on the edge of the unknown, suspended between centuries of quiet fear and sudden change. For generations, birth determined a person's entire fate, dividing humanity by bloodline and unearned privilege. Now, ordinary citizens gathered in the streets to watch an unbroken empire begin to crumble. Inside the Grand Hall of the National Assembly, representatives gathered to draft the blueprint of a new world. On this morning, they adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. These few handwritten sentences would echo across oceans, igniting revolutions for centuries to come. They claimed that liberty, legal equality, and national sovereignty belonged to the people, not the crown. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Written for 18th century France, its promise was vast enough to encompass the entire human race. Ink dried on freshly printed pages, passing rapidly from trembling fingers to curious minds. An idea had been committed to paper, and paper possessed the power to cross any border. Exactly 155 years later, the very same city was starved under enemy occupation. For 4 brutal years, the promise of freedom had been driven underground beneath foreign boots. Behind shuttered windows, terrified families held their breath, waiting for the signal to rise again. Then the barricades broke, and the streets exploded with hundreds of thousands of weeping citizens. On Auguste 26, 1944, Charles de Gaulle walked down the boulevards to claim back the capital. The city that taught the modern world the meaning of liberty was finally standing on its own feet. This victory was not just measured by conquered ground or captured artillery. For ordinary Parisians, it was the raw, overwhelming return of their stolen human dignity. En 1789, France gave language to human rights. In 1944, it proved they were worth bleeding for. 2 distant generations, separated by a century and a half, were bound together by a single date. History is not forged solely by towering armies or sovereign rulers. It begins the exact moment ordinary human beings decide their rights are worth fighting to defend. Auguste 26 stands as living proof that an idea, once spoken, can never truly be conquered.